and hello good people of the internet. It is I, Tommy Kelly, and this is Adventures in Woo Woo. And in this episode I thought we'd do something different and we'd do a quick 10-minute meditation. Now, this is the second time I tried to do this video. Earlier on I was doing it, I was getting near the end, and then there was a tremendous amount of sound that kind of ruined the video, but it should have been a lesson for me to keep at my meditation even when the world around me was erupting into chaos. It's a bit different when you're making a video. I don't want all of your world to erupt into chaos when you're trying to do a meditation with me on YouTube. But it actually worked out quite well in the end, because I then noticed a few hours later that Jason Miller is releasing, or has released, his meditation course, which is called Take Back Your Mind. It's free for a week, I think. So by the time you see this video, it'll have come out a few days ago, so most of you might have seen it, but if you haven't, I'll put the link in the show description as well. And just Miller knows what he's talking about. So I'm obviously not going to go into as much depth as you would in a course. In this one, we're just going to do some mindfulness meditation, basically counting our breaths. I'm going to do it for 10 minutes. I'm sitting on my cushion. I do a kind of a cross-legged thing. I don't do the lotus posture because I can't. I used to be able to do it, but now I can't. But you can, sit on a chair, keep your back straight. Is kind of the main kind of thing. Sit in a chair, sit with your arms on your your lap of your legs. You can sit, if you're good at yoga, you can do lotus posture. You can lie down, of course, if you want, but the problem with lying down is that there's a tendency to fall asleep. You want to get into a very relaxed kind of state, but it's a wakeful, alert relaxation. It's not a sleepy kind of dullness. And the whole kind of thing, if you're completely new to meditation, is that you just count your breaths. So it'll be inhale 1, exhale 2, to the count of 10, and we go back to 1 again. And if you find that your mind has wandered a bit, you just gently go back to counting, either from the number that you last remember or from the beginning again. Don't berate yourself, don't feel bad. The main thing about meditation is that it is this kind of thing where you notice your mind has gone somewhere else, and then you bring it back, rather than a kind of, people go, oh, I tried to meditate. I tried to meditate on my, I just couldn't keep a still mind. And no one can keep a still mind apart from, the Zen masters and stuff. But the meditation itself, the practice, is realizing that you haven't kept a still mind and just gently bringing it back. So for the beginning, we'll get into a comfortable thing. I will put on our timer so that we know. And it would help, I do have it. So just relax in whatever kind of posture you're in, and we'll start with some deep breaths. In through the mouth, in through the nose and out through the mouth. But we will return to just nose only breathing when we're doing the meditation proper. When you're breathing out, kind of try and let all your muscles relax, and as if you're breathing out tension. So in and out. In and out. And one last one. In and out. Let all the tension out. Now gently close your eyes. And before we get into the meditation proper, we're just going to check in with our body a bit. So you can either scan from the top of your head down to your toes and kind of feel out, is there any tension in your body anywhere? Is there any kind of stiffness? Is there any areas of hot or cold? And don't try to adjust anything unless it's really painful. Just be aware of it. Just kind of tune into how your body is, and tune in how you are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of these things. Just kind of catch yourself in the moment of where you are now. And kind of tune into what's around you. Like hear the room you're in. Don't get lost in the noise. Don't go away with the birds chirping in the background. Just gently notice it. Have a listen to your emails coming in the background. And then in your own time, just become more aware of your breathing. Don't try to change your breath. Don't try to slow it down or do anything. Just be aware of it. where in your body your breath can you feel it the strongest? Might be on the tip of your nose, might be on your chest. And just be careful of bringing your shoulders up towards your ears. Just relax them back down. And in your own time, just start counting the breaths. 1 on the inhale, 2 on the exhale, all the way up to the count of 10, and then just gently return to 1 again. And when your mind wanders, just go back to the counting. And remember, if your mind starts wandering, you start thinking about things, don't give out to yourself. Just gently return to the counting of the breaths, either from the number you last remember, or just from the beginning. And just make sure that you're counting the breaths, that you haven't counted all the way up to 20, or that you haven't just lost count. And just gently come back to the beginning or to where you left off. just as now we're coming to the end of this, just keep your eyes closed just for a second. Just start becoming more aware of the room around you again, and the sounds that are in the room, the kind of temperature the room is in, or any other kind of sensations for the room. One last big deep breath in and out, and then gently, and in your own time, open your eyes. So I hope you enjoyed that. A couple of tips I've learned on counting is that if you wait till the end of the movement, it can sometimes be more helpful that your mind doesn't wander so much, so that instead of counting 1 as you breathe in, it's you inhale 1 and then exhale 2. It's kind of can be sometimes the gaps between the stages of the breath that can be the point where your brain goes, oh, what about that electricity bill or whatever. My kind of thing, one of the things I find is that my mind can continue counting, but yet I can still think about the electricity bill, but in the background there's this automaton that's still doing the counting, and that can be quite annoying because you still feel you're still doing it, but at the same time cheating because you're, working out some work problem or something. And the best of that is just to kind of concentrate on the physicality of the breathing rather than the counting. Always be aware of where it is in your body more than where it is where you are in the counting. If that's some people feel it best on their nose, I don't. I feel it more in my body where it's moving and I can feel the movement. So if my mind's going too much, if I return to the physicality, to the kind of movement of the breath rather than the counting, that can help too. But after all that, it's practice, and there's plenty of different kind of, I suppose, different approaches to meditation, but they all kind of come around to the same kind of thing of just sitting down, shutting up and be quiet, and just trying, quiet everything down. But definitely don't have any anger towards yourself or frustration or annoyance when your mind goes way off. Even if you go off for 5 minutes before you realize you come back, you've realized and come back, and that's good enough. That's what we're doing. That's what the whole point of meditation is. And some days you'll have wonderful meditations where from start to finish you're in the zone, and then if you're anything like me, you'll have weeks where it's the opposite, where you're just sitting there in the kind of the worst of the worst, just thinking you're getting nowhere with it. But of course you always are. So, good people of the internet, I hope that was nice, and I hope it was a change of pace. And if you have any suggestions for different things you'd like me to do in these videos, please suggest them, because a video a day, not that it's hard work, it's certainly not hard work, it's fun, but I'm very open and will welcome any suggestions you have on what I could talk about or do on the different days. So, good people of the internet, until our next adventure, be well.